Bonjour à toutes et à tous.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank the organizers of the event. So, what has a prehistoric museum in this context? Well, I will explain you why we are a museum. Therefore, we share the same goal, and we are part of the the fire route, which includes several institutions, and we speak about technological genius in prehistoric times. You must remember that if fire was not invented in the prehistory, well, the world would be a totally different place. I will tell you about us. We try to welcome the Lascaux cave. We have a museum of 30 hectares, and in our temporary exhibition, we include Lascaux cave. But our museum would like to allow our visitors to live an extraordinary experience in order to explore the future. And we have developed a whole series of devices in order to allow our visitors to understand the human human activities. And we have created a labyrinth, for example, a vegetal labyrinth, in order to speak about diversity, climate diversity. We created some circuits like we had in the expo in Milan. And you know that Homo sapiens is an artist, and we would like to speak about this in the context of the Lascaux Museum. But first of all, as a prehistoric expert, I would like to tell you that virtual reality exists since the man started dreaming. I hope you slept well last night, but you know that virtuality is in us. But virtual technologies that allow us to have all these systems, well, this is quite new. And since the beginning of times, humankind has had the capacity to develop this virtuality. And this has been the means of development of the societies, and also to invent fire, for example. And museum has been a means to transmit, to spread this knowledge. So we put technology at the core of our activities, and we created a model of the humankind attitudes and personality, and these are the reaction to the models that we have in our head of the devices don't we dispose now of the metaphysics, and which have an impact on the humankind. These are all paramount aspects of our daily life. So I believe now you understood that the intentions of our brains is to create a double phase reality and to materialize this reality that we see in our brain. So that's the power of humankind. That's why I was really passionate about Lascaux Cave and the museum. And these pictures show us that the origin of prehistory is to materialize what it's in our brain. The technological means that we have today, tablets, smartphones, etc., are just the equivalent of the incarnation of the materialization of our intentions. So now we are actually entering into the virtuality of Lascaux. We just ended this adventure in May 2022. I will speak about this experience. On the left, you see our museum. Our team, the team of Lascaux, was looking for somebody to create a new model with virtual reality for Lascaux as World Heritage. So they used what they had to create a virtual reality. For the first time in the whole world, the Lascaux caves were accessible to everybody, even when it was not possible to access in Lascaux 4. I worked with my educational team to create this experience. This project is really crazy. In the picture above, on the left, you can see the visitors that are just going around the exhibition. But there are two levels of this exhibition, because there's the virtual visit and then the physical or on-site visit with the objects, with videos, etc. And just for you to understand this experience, I will now show you a video that was on TV, and you will understand better maybe.
La grotte de Lascaux, comme si vous y étiez, avec ses dessins de taureaux, de bisons, ses aurochs, ses cerfs et ses félins. C'est l'expérience que propose l'exposition événement au Préhistomuséum de Flémal. Le visiteur est équipé d'un casque virtuel, il se rend à l'emplacement qui lui a été désigné. Commence alors pour lui une visite virtuelle où il va pouvoir découvrir l'intégralité de la grotte. Une expérience immersive et interactive qui transporte les visiteurs dans un tunnel virtuel pendant une vingtaine de minutes.
C'est complètement bluffant, c'est vraiment super d'avoir la grotte qui vient comme ça à soi. Et en plus, il y a un côté vraiment interactif parce qu'on est invité à plonger les mains dans des pigments. Et alors la beauté du site est vraiment super bien rendue.
Cette exposition expérience a été mise au point en pleine crise sanitaire. Elle a été conçue pour pouvoir respecter les mesures de distanciation. Le visiteur peut découvrir, comme s'il était seul dans la grotte, ce patrimoine exceptionnel vieux de 20 000 ans.
La grotte, la vraie, elle est fermée depuis 1963. Les répliques qui existent en Dordogne sont des répliques qui permettent des visites guidées. Ici, vous êtes tout seul dans la grotte de Lascaux. Vous pouvez vous arrêter et contempler ces chefs-d'œuvre de l'humanité. Même si vous alliez en Dordogne, vous ne pourriez pas voir autant Lascaux que vous allez le voir au Préhistomuséum de Flémal.
Jamais un site patrimoine de l'humanité, qui est fermé au public, n'a jamais été montré intégralement dans une exposition. C'est une découverte époustouflante qui donne envie de rencontrer ces hommes et ces femmes de la préhistoire qui vivaient il y a 20 000 ans.
Une exposition physique complète cette expérience. On peut y voir différents objets, découvrir les explications relatives à l'état de connaissance sur ces dessins qui sont les plus anciennes œuvres humaines en Occident.
Quand on entre dans l'exposition, on est accueilli par la reconstitution de deux mannequins qui sont la reconstitution de l'homme et de la femme de Cro-Magnon. Ces homo sapiens, ils nous ressemblent, ils seraient dans la rue, on ne les reconnaîtrait pas. Et donc, nous sommes la même humanité. Vous êtes des homo sapiens, je suis un homo sapiens.
Au-delà de l'exposition, la visite des lieux permet de participer à des ateliers et de se mettre dans la peau de ces homo sapiens pour mieux comprendre avec quoi ils ont pu graver, dessiner ou peindre. Pour les plus mobiles, une visite de la grotte est également proposée à la lumière d'une flamme, une expérience pour se rapprocher des conditions de lumière dans laquelle hommes et femmes préhistoriques ont orné la grotte.
Et donc, on va faire un peu le débriefing de cette expérience. Vous l'avez.
So, this virtual experience is a part of a whole, which is the pedagogical project. So, there are these ateliers created by the people of the museum, and then there is this virtual experience. We didn't do all this virtuality just for that. So then we encountered some issues. So you and me, children, adults, we are just victims of these technologies. So we created some tutorials that you can see here on the screen. And through them, we can explain to people how to use these tools. We thought that all this could have been clearer and user-friendly, but we realized that people were afraid of such experience. So therefore, we had to reassure them on the fact that once you actually wear this casque, you really are in virtual reality. So you have to move on these square, which are 4 by 4, and we are not used to that. So we had to tell people, don't worry, you will see the area in which you can move, and you have to take a step back. Therefore, we had to face something which is not usual for us. And then the area was quite big, with 24 casks with the same number of visitors. But if there is a problem, then they just had to put up their hand, and one of the team would help them. We didn't realize that we would have such a challenge, a technological challenge, due to the fact that people are not used to this kind of technological experience. Now, as for the evaluation of the experience, children were afraid. All children of the age of 5 to 7, they were afraid. So the team of the museum found some solutions. For example, the mothers could hold the hand of the child, and therefore that was okay. And then, starting from 8 years on, it was okay. There were some practical issues, like if they wear glasses or things like that. Then there were some people who had some other kind of issues, who had to lay down on the floor, and they could look at the roof. The intention was to create a guide, a sort of virtual guide to the cave. But you are alone, you don't know where to go. Therefore, the team created a guide, the spirit of the cave. You saw it on the video. So this technology is fantastic. The visit is about 20 minutes. But if you shift your sight from the guide, you are just alone, and you can really contemplate and look at the cave. And we realized that people aged from 50 and over 50 had a totally different experience. Then, in order to have 24 casks, we need more casks in order to follow the rhythm. Then we cooperated with Trento. They actually reduced the number to 12 cask. We had to do that because the logistics are complex. Now, a manager of a museum like that has to manage all that. So we have 24 casks, and you need to multiply that by 3 sessions in an hour, and by the opening hours. Therefore, that's a high number. But okay, we have 65,000 visitors per year, so that's okay, that's perfect. But if you have a bigger museum and you really want to have 1,000, 1,200 visitors, then you need to adapt to these numbers.
À la chose. Arrêtez de m'écouter en anglais.
Then we really had to create a reservation, a booking system online, so the visitor gets there when it's their time for the visit. Then there is a sound which tells you, a sort of a bell that tells you that it's your turn to do the visit. That was another solution that we found. And we also had to find 2 people, 2 permanent team workers, in order to guide the people. At the beginning, we had only 1 person, but it was impossible to manage. And for the 12 casks in Trento, there are 2 people to guide all the visitors. All this is very costly. Here we can see an image from Trento where there are some positive effects. We had 20,000 new visitors. It's a very good result. And even to have just virtual visitors, it's very, very interesting. That's, of course, a very good added value for the institution, but that has meant a lot of managing work at the beginning, negotiations as well. And the spirit of the cave would propose you to put your hand on one of the paintings and paint yourself on the walls of the cave. That's fantastic. That's magical. So to repropose these virtually is just marvelous. Therefore, this is what we have done also for the expo. And there's also the list of fees. We had big revenues from it. And in 2022, we had some wonderful results. I will like to end my speech with some experiences that we had. But first of all, if we had to do it again, what about it? Well, yes, I would do it again, but with some different material, more professional ones, more professional tools. Of course, all this has led to a lot of stress for the team, which has been fantastic, but okay, a lot of work. And if I had to do the virtual reality, I would couple it with reality, physical reality. I am always speaking with the team in Lascaux, and the virtual exhibition was at the core of the exhibition, but they are trying to create something different in order to try new technologies. That's perfect, because it's always nice to innovate. And now we come to the end of my speech. With the new technologies, we have a new perception of time and space. We have a new perception of reality, which gives us the possibility to experiment something new, new emotions, a new way of learning, new mental images. The potential of these new technologies is huge. We can really see macro and micro. We can really see the virtual reality and what cannot be told orally. We can inspire doubts. We can really have a philosophical debate. We can create some new heritage communities. We can protect the heritage. As for the archaeological sites, it's a very good idea, and they are more easily manageable than industrial heritage, and this could also lead to more specific solution for the reduction of CO2, and we will be able to discover the heritage just sitting on our chairs in our homes.